just try not to limit myself when it comes to the bigger picture and what I think I'm capable of, because our bodies are so capable, and time can really be a big blessing if that consistency is working for you. And so just not trying to set limitations and have an open mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jane Hedengren back on the Running Effect podcast. It seems she wins a race or sets a record, and then she comes on the podcast today. We're continuing that cycle. Jane, recently, I laugh because it's so crazy. And she's a high schooler, guys. 15:13. You heard that right. 15:13 and 4:20. 15:13 in the 5K and 4:26 in the mile, which is insane. Both national records, of course, as you would assume they are. And yeah, she's remarkable. She also won NXN in December. And in today's conversation, we recap this indoor track season, her ambitions for the outdoor season, her thoughts on more records, more titles, what she's thinking, her training, her mindset, the races themselves. I love this conversation. Such a privilege and honor. This is where I truly feel blessed in my job, that I'm able to talk to remarkable athletes like Jane right after they set these records. We also give you a little sneak peek going into Arcadia, where she'll run the 2-mile. And naturally, she's going to go after something crazy. So stay tuned to listen to hear her thoughts on that. And if you enjoy the podcast, share it with a friend, hit the follow or subscribe button, and give us a 5-star review. And with all of those notes aside, I hope you all enjoy this conversation with record breaker, the one and only Jane Hedengren. Jane Hedengren, it seems like you come on the podcast, you recap some insane performance, you state some goal, and then you go out and shock the world, and then you come back on the podcast. I love this cycle. How are you doing this morning? And congrats on all the success. It's crazy.
Well, thank you so much, first of all, for having me back on. It's always great to catch up. And yeah, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. So good. I remember last time we talked, which wasn't that long ago, we were talking about the cross season, and you were like bringing a lot of new perspective that I think a lot of people were unaware about, which was just like the cross season was brutal despite the results on paper like being good. Like, you struggled with a lot and sickness and injuries. The first thought that came across my mind was, oh my gosh, when she's healthy, oh my goodness, people are not ready. That certainly seemed to be the case this indoor season. How did it feel to you to like have things click? Because in that conversation, obviously you were excited about NXN and the cross season, but I think there was a part of your heart that was just like, I want things to click, right? And I want to run as hard as I know I can run and have consistency.
Yeah, it was just so refreshing because throughout kind of my high school career, there's been some bumpy patches, like before championship races and before times I really want to show up and show out. So I just kind of would remind myself that there's no way it's going to happen every single time. Like, I'm bound to have a stint where things do go well and I'm not sick or injured or whatever it might be before a race. And so that was just like really refreshing to finally come around and be able to kind of put together those few months where of consistency and building off cross, and yeah, feeling good.
We discussed this. I think I said this before the episode. I think this is like time 5 for you on the podcast. So quickly becoming a Running Effect veteran, which I love. But in that first episode, going back, I remember sharing the story of meeting you on the bus for the first time after Brooks PR. And I was like, oh, who are you? How was your race? And you're like, oh, I just won the mile. And that was like, we talked about it, but that was like kind of your coming out party. And that was such a big result for you on paper. And you probably ran like 4:37, which at the time was like a remarkable performance. But if I went to that version of you on the bus and said, yeah, you're going to run 11 seconds faster, not too far into the future, and also run 15:13, would that version of Jane believe me or no?
I think so, because at that point I was only a sophomore, and something me and my coach have really valued throughout my time in high school is staying really patient and looking at my progression through a holistic view. So I don't think I would have been too surprised, just because that is a long period of time in between those two performances. But yeah, going back and maybe even telling me around like NXN this last year in December, telling me that I was able to run those performances and especially that mile, I think I would have been pretty surprised.
You're so humble. So just let me give you your flowers. And if you don't want to accept them, that's okay. But you look at times like 15-13 and 426 and the national titles you've won. And I think at that point, it's hard not to view you in the conversation as one of the greatest female high school distance runners of all time. And you still have a whole outdoor season left, which is scary. And we'll talk about scary in a good sense. So then if I go back to your sophomore year of high school, right, and I say you're going to run 15-13, you're going to run 426, you're going to win NXN, and you're saying you would have believed me, that means that your sophomore year of high school, you would have believed that you could be one of the greatest to ever do it and do things that no one has ever seen done at the youth prep level for females. Where does that confidence and self-belief come from?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure because sometimes I think back to sophomore version of me, even during like cross country when I had not proved anything on the national stage. Um, and I was just so confident in that I was gonna be like running up there with Sadie Engelhart and these other amazing athletes. Even though, yeah, I had no reason to be talking like or thinking like that, I guess. Um, but yeah, I think just try not to limit myself when it comes to the bigger picture and what I think I'm capable of because our bodies are so capable and time can can really be a big blessing if that consistency is working for you. And so just not trying to set limitations and have an open mind and be happy and be controlling these other things I can and hopefully optimizing performance in a way that's seamless like through and it becomes like just routine. um yeah, and just yeah, giving yourself that time, that grace, and really looking forward to these moments to compete and getting excited for them.
A lot of people say limitations are self-imposed. How have you throughout the years been able to expand what you think your limitations are? Because it is reality. There are limits, right? You probably will never
Absolutely.
run a 3-minute mile, but you can try to push that as far possible in one direction. And I think what separates the good from the great are able to push their limitations a little farther than most people and then back it up. And normally they back it up because they have, as we were just talking about, that kind of inner belief and confidence.
Mhm. Yeah, so, yeah, just with those limitations and, just I think our bodies are far more capable than we give them credit for at times, and so just really trying to have an open mind and coming into these performances, especially for, Nike Indoor, I just kind of wanted to forget about the work that had been done and everything and just kind of be out there running and give it my best performance and my best effort on the day and not worry about what I had been hitting in practice or how things have been going, but rather just like I'm here to compete. I don't know how many more opportunities I'll get where I'm feeling healthy and good and I'm excited. So just taking these moments and trying to do the best I can with them.
How do you even tangibly train to run like 15-13 and 426? I have no clue. Teach me.
Mm. Well, sorry, my voice. This workout we did earlier, it's
Oh,
kind of
good.
getting to me, but
There's the
um,
training right there. If you can't talk on a podcast later that day, you're training hard enough to run 15-13.
but I feel like nothing crazy, right? I've just been doing the same thing throughout pretty much my whole high school career, upping it as we go, hopefully as well with the mileage and intensity. But yeah, just trying to stay patient and have those things build on each other within the training um, and doing the like getting the most benefit from the least amount of work possible. Honestly, especially during this high school time, um, and really trying to optimize your life around with your sleep and your nutrition and other such things because I wasn't allowed to do a lot of mileage and like crazy workouts, especially in my earlier years. And so I think that was really beneficial to me just trying to optimize all these other portions of my life. And then as now I've been able to do a little bit more training, especially coming into this senior year, I've seen a lot of improvement and some big jumps. Yeah.
I know in our first conversation, you discussed your older brother who runs for BYU and the influence that he's had on you in your running career and journey. But speaking on your parents, because I know they're very actively involved in your life and in your running, but I don't think we've talked about them too extensively as of late. How do they deal with these performances and the progression that their daughter is going through of like truly becoming one of the best to ever do it? And how have they helped to keep you grounded and like even appreciative of these results and keep things in perspective? And what's it just been like to go through this journey with them?
Yeah, definitely. They're like definitely my biggest supporters. Like I just love them so much and appreciate them in my life. Um and I love how you mentioned like how they kind of bring me back to earth sometimes and like just being like, okay, like this is awesome that you were able to run this fast, but like and I know you love to train and such, but you're also just a person and you need to like yeah, just see yourself as that and have these other avenues that you're trying to develop within your life. Which is a great reminder. My mom especially is awesome to remind me of that. And then yeah, I don't know, it's just awesome. Like my mom was able to be there with me at Nike Indoor, and she usually comes with me to some of these races. My dad will often stay home because of work or and other things, and um but yeah, it's just so awesome having them, and the ways that they can support me, and yeah, I don't know, it's just awesome to have that support crew and people to talk to always. Yeah,
Which was more impressive to you, the 5K or the mile?
I think for me personally, probably the mile, because I wasn't expecting that as much. Like I know the last time we talked right after NXN, we were talking like about maybe a tentative plan for my track season, and I think I mentioned saying I wasn't going to jump in too many miles, and yeah, so I like this is awesome. I wasn't quite expecting that one, so maybe the mile. Yeah.
Talked about that Brooks PR race earlier and in earlier conversations. And like, I remember you running 430s, high 430s, and it being like a big deal. Is it crazy to you of just how fast you've run and like 426 in perspective? Even if, I mean, these times, I feel like specifically the 5K, but also the mile, like if you were in college, are national caliber times. Is it crazy to you just like how fast that is, like 426?
You know, it is like a little bit crazy, but I also like what allows for these performances sometimes is me like totally like not putting these times and performances on pedestals. Like seeing like I feel like sometimes you'll see, especially in the early months of the year, on Instagram, like these crazy times that are being dropped in Boston by these collegians or just other amazing individuals. And I just have tried to kind of take that all this year and just be like, nope, we're pushing farther. Like especially because the times just keep dropping. Like it seems like every weekend and or especially every year. So um just trying to bridge that gap and be like, okay, well, if they keep dropping, obviously, like we're doing something right, and there's room for growth here. So, just trying to get the very most out of myself and put things into perspective, like that many women are running that fast or faster, and so yeah, just knowing it can be done and just trying to push it the most I can.
Such good perspective. Actually, when I asked that question, I was like, if she got too starstruck over these times, she probably wouldn't run them. Cause I think it's when you, yeah, like you said, when you put things on a pedestal, you freak yourself out and you make it more important than it actually is. And I feel like the athletes that go out and do crazy things are the ones who like delusionally believe that they can, and also delusionally believe that like the thing isn't as important or impressive. Like that 1513 is probably more impressive to other people than it is to you. And you were able to do it because it's not as impressive to you.
Absolutely agree. And yeah, sometimes that comes at a cost also like after the race we're like, oh dang, like I do want to celebrate this, but I also it's just the balance, right? Of keeping that in perspective and knowing you have more races to come and you kind of want to not put any not thinking any time is too crazy because you want to get the most out of yourself, but also celebrate the journey along the way. So it's just the balance.
We were talking, Jane, about the weather conditions at NXN last conversation, and I think a lot of people were shocked at how fast you ran given the conditions. So you ran 16:32, and people can go back and watch that race of just like how muddy and wet and like cold it was, and not at all a place for fast times to be run. So 16:32 in those conditions is crazy. But then if you're in March, we're recording this March 31st, and you go back and you're like, oh, she ran 15:13 on the track, you'd be like, oh, that's not too crazy that she would run 16:32 on like a crappy course conditions. My question for you is, what do you think? Like, do you feel like that 16:32 on the grass? What do you think that would like equate to in terms of the 5K, and how much better do you feel like you got between December and March that allowed you to get faster? Obviously, that's like a very hard thing to correlate, like Glendiveer golf course to the track, but again, I think looking back, it's like the 16:32 and the 15:13 kind of make more sense in the context of one another.
Oh, geez, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that NXN race would be on the track. Maybe like a, I think it would be sub 16, but I'm not sure for how far under. Like, I think at that point I could have run like with the equivalent effort, maybe like a 15:30 ish, like in that range, maybe would be my best estimate. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun to think about, right? But yeah, then the progress just made throughout those months after, just with getting to do a little bit more track work and getting a feel for that 5K pace really allowed me to dial in and come through a quicker time come March. So
My team put this show notes together, and I'm like, this stat is so crazy to me that like I need to fact check myself. I guess that 15:13 puts you 13th all time for American woman at the senior level. How crazy is that to you? Like 13th fastest time ever in the 5K.
I don't know if that's right. Is that like for US women?
I'll have to fact check it after this because that'd be insane.
That
But
would be insane. Yeah, cuz I think maybe that 15-13 would have put me, I don't I, I don't even know, top 10 at NCAA's. So that would have, yeah, I'm not sure. But
if it's
it's
wrong,
still,
if it's wrong, let's switch it to college. Like even at the college level, a 15:13 is crazy. Is it crazy to think that you're like transcending levels?
yeah, it's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to my time in college and getting to compete more with really fast women that are pushing the boundaries. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to my time, and um, it's awesome what's happening in the collegiate scene right now. Like, I feel like people are really competing well and even able to compete against the professionals. So I think it will be a good transition, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Speaking of your mindset going into these races, take me through what you were thinking, what the goals were, and how you executed both of these performances.
For Nike Indoor.
Yeah, that 15:13 and 4:26.
Yeah, so I kind of like to take races one thing at a time. So for that 5K, just we wanted to stay very patient because I have a tendency to go out kind of hot and kind of just be like, oh, give it to me, like, let's go. But we wanted to come through and just chill and hopefully negative split and pick it up as we go. And so we came through, I think, around 4:55 through the first mile, and then equally like a 9:50 or so through 2 miles, and then from there I just wanted to keep working my way down, and the pace felt like it was hard, but it was like comfortable, like it was a good 5K effort. And yeah, I just think there's things to improve upon, especially having it be one of like my first 5K on the track. And um there's, yeah, things within the race I think I could have done better. um, but it was awesome to be out there competing with Riley. I wasn't um, necessarily expecting that. She had an awesome day, and she's just a phenomenal runner and athlete in person. So that was great, and it was fun to, yeah, battle at home with her. And then transitioning from that 5K to the mile, I had a few days in between, which was really nice to just rest up the best I could, and get feeling good again. And for that mile, I just kind of wanted to go out hot and keep it and see just how fast I could come through. And so um, I think I was wanting to go out around like 215 or so, and then like drop it down from there, 215 through the 800. Um, but I went out a bit quicker than that. I think I came through like 212 or so, and then just really tried to finish as best I could. And it was awesome having the environment there of the people cheering and yeah, just it's awesome being in New York City and at the Armory track. And so I really, yeah, enjoyed both of those races. It was kind of nice to have that first 5K to get more of a feel for the track, feel for racing, and get really excited and amped for that mile and coming in with nothing to lose.
Was it hard to shift your mindset in perspective after probably being a little bit on top of the world after the 5K and, people talking to you and there being buzz everywhere, both in the stadium, on the internet? Was it hard to like shift from like 5K to mile? Because I could see you just being like so toast from it physically, mentally, emotionally, that it's just like, let's just get the win, not try to go around some crazy time.
Yeah, definitely. It I really came into the week wanting to run a fast mile, and so I did have that in the back of my mind with running that 5K, and so I feel like that allowed me to kind of almost forget about that 5K in a way and just be like, okay, that was an awesome race. I'm going to revisit this later and hopefully celebrate this a little bit more later. But I have another like job at hand, I guess, with that mile and really trying to come through fast. And because that was my second mile of the year, and I don't get the opportunity to run at sea level very often. And so every time I do, I really want to um yeah, maximize the effort and whether that race plan is to just get the win or to really come through something fast. And I wanted to come through something fast. So yeah, just kind of trying to forget about that 5K for the time being and focus on focus on the mile and the new race at hand. So
How do you feel like these performances raise your ceiling for what you think is possible, both the outdoor season and just the rest of your career?
yeah, it's awesome. It's exciting. I don't exactly know what I'm going to be able to hit this year. I think we're just going to keep training and like see where we're at and take these workouts and performances for where they're at and kind of evaluate and come through hopefully something fast for these bigger meets coming up. But yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy my time and finish out the senior year. I mean, it's been a great year so far, and I think there's a lot to look forward to within college and for what's to come. And it just is exciting that I've got some time and to keep developing. And yeah, I don't know, it's just awesome. I think running some of these performances, I'm like, wow, I I'm I could be competitive on the college scene, maybe in some of my first years, or um, maybe in the future, like a professional career could be a possibility. So it's just exciting, and I want to just keep taking care of myself um, and where I'm at, and yeah, just enjoying the process and loving those around me.
I know you recently signed an NIL with Nike. If I'm not, that's public, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, good. Not speaking out of turn there. So I'm sure this influences things and like honestly will influence the future of things compared to like 5, 10 years ago. But occasionally we would see a high schooler turn pro out of high school. You mentioned the word college there, so I'm assuming that's not the case or you haven't thought too deeply about it. But is there a reality in your head where you go 14:59 this outdoor season and it's just like, let's just go full time? What's your thought around that?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought too much about it yet because I feel like I'm not at that level where professional career right now would be the best choice because I'm not competitive yet on the professional scene. So, um yeah, I think again just trying to take things for where they're at, but I think the college experience is very valuable, and I mean it is really competitive still. So, um yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going and see how this season goes. But I am definitely planning on going at least to some college and hopefully like I can be doing well in college, and then we'll kind of take it from there. But yeah, for now, planning on BYU.
One step at a time. I love it. Speaking of upcoming races, I know you're going to be running Arcadia soon, and I believe the 2 mile there. When I see 15:13 and 4:26, I think, what is the perfect mix between the two? It's the 2 mile. How excited are you to get after it on the track?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, I ran a 2 mile in February in Idaho, at altitude on a wooden track, and I'm just so excited to be able to do it at Arcadia with that environment on a regular track, and just hopefully bust down and come through something fast. I don't know what that will be, but I'm hoping I can just go out hot and really stay tough and I mean we'll see where I come through, but yeah, I'm hopeful for a good 2 mile time coming up here shortly, hopefully.
I've talked to Sadie Engelhart a little bit about this, and I know it's a little bit different in California with like their limitations around what you can race and what you can't race. And if you race pro races, they'll strip eligibility in high school and the whole 9 yards. The CAF needs new leadership. But so for you, I'm curious because I've talked to Sadie about this, but for you, like in your mindset, obviously, even the 15-minute barrier, it's like, I don't know. As a fan of the sport, I kind of find it hard to believe if you weren't at BU in a paced race that you could go faster than you did were in a race where it was just kind of you and Riley at Nike. Have you thought much about trying to get in professional meets, or is it very much like I'm just going to run the high school meets, try to win what I can win, and run as fast as I can given the circumstances?
Yeah, I think for now, high school heats. I mean, I'm gonna be in a heat at Brian Clay, coming up here shortly after Arcadia, but that will be, I think, more of a collegiate field. So I'm not sure who will be in that field yet, um, but I think that will be the closest I get to running with professionals this year. But yeah, I'm hopeful for the opportunity in the future to come come through and have a yeah, just more competition and maybe some pacing and getting in those good heats with some remarkable athletes. So,
What excites you the most in the coming months? Is that chasing after records, winning titles, getting the opportunity to race against some collegians, go to California? Like, what excites you the most?
yeah, I think just the journey and the process of continue to hopefully better myself and keep learning and growing and with that, like, I am hopeful that I can come through some quick times, especially hopefully in that 2 mile, and so yeah, just kind of trying to finish off the year strong and happy and then on to college, and that will be a um whole new experience with learning and new teammates and relationships. So I'm just really looking forward to my time. And yeah, it's all kind of coming to a close, which is crazy.
How would you describe what you want to do with your final season in high school?
I think I think I would describe it as like just kind of being like leaving my mark. This senior year, I've been looking forward to like seriously since my freshman year, because I knew I would be able to run a little bit more and yeah, I'd be in a good place with having more experience throughout my high school career in these more competitive fields and such. And so I've always like really wanted this last senior year to just be a historic season and kind of just leaving my mark on what I can in the high school record books.
Well, I ask you this question a lot, but I think that's worth asking, revisiting. What's the message that you want to send to the next generation through these performances, and what's the impact that you hope to leave on the sport of high school distance running as someone who's so contributed to it over the past 4 years?
I think just not underestimating your body. Your body is so capable, and if you are fueling yourself well, taking care of yourself, you can push yourself, and you can kind of see where those limitations are for the time being, and that's really exciting. And hopefully, you're doing that around with people that love and support you, and you're showing up for them as well. And um, yeah, just taking care of each other and I think everyone's just trying their best. So just yeah, being there for each other and giving people the benefit of the doubt and yeah, really trying to optimize your life and performance in a way that you can be happy, healthy, strong, and really pushing those limits for what that means for you.
I love it. Such good wisdom. Wise beyond your years. Jane, I love this conversation. Ending on a lighter note, you're a senior in high school. Is senior slide a thing for Jane Hedengren or no?
Oh man, I think a little bit, especially with the course load coming down a bit. I'm like, why am I here? So, yeah, I'm excited to be done for sure.
Other question for you. What's playing in the headphones leading into these races? Do you have a playlist? Do you have a select song that you go to?
Honestly, absolutely nothing. Like, I do not listen
Really?
to music. Yeah, I don't listen to music before competition, but if I were to, like maybe the few hours prior to like getting ready or something, it would probably just be like some like more gospel kind of centered music, like just chill, kind of more in a meditative state and with some reflection and just kind of really trying to know what I'm doing for the day and showing up as my best self.
Last question for you. New York City, how'd you celebrate after these records?
Oh man, I wish I had a better answer for this, but we headed straight to the airport and right to home. So definitely was hard waking up the next day. We were all like pretty sore after coming off those races. But yeah, I think it was just nice to get home and be back with family and friends and um yeah, and to celebrate these performances. But New York City is an awesome place to be, and I mean we were there for a week, so it was nice to be home. Yeah.
Jane, take a bow. Congratulations. But also, I know that it is, as I'm sure you know, way better than me because you have that belief and inner confidence, as we discussed in this conversation. Like, truly, just the beginning for you. I feel like the beginning for your senior season and campaign, but also the beginning for the future and what you're able to accomplish. So keep crushing it. Always love these conversations and appreciate your openness to always come on and be so open about the journey. And it makes it so fun because I think it's be fun to look back on this a few years for people, like even that first conversation. I think it's cool that people can go back and like hear what Jane Hedegren was like as a 437 miler and can kind of track throughout the time period. So thank you so much and so excited to see all the things you'll accomplish in the months to come.
Thank you so much.